please give a big Pokemon welcome to Mr. Hulk Hogan!
I've been a huge fan of Pokemon since it began, and I'm really excited to be here. My son Nick is way into it.
Oh, brother. This year, Pokemon is celebrating its 25th anniversary, and if you think this time around there are some weird celebrity collaborations, you have no idea. So let's grab Celebi's hand and travel back in time to the year 2006, when Pokemon was celebrating its 10th anniversary. The biggest celebration was the Journey Across America. It was a tour that went to different cities across the United States as they would play host to Pokemon festivities, which included tournaments for the Pokemon Game Boy games, distributions, and other events. This was all capped off with the Party of the Decade held in New York City. It was basically the same thing, plus a little more, including previews for the upcoming Mystery Dungeon video games and costume characters walking around, including Lucario for the first time. And it was all hosted by Hulk Hogan, who? Hulk Hogan is a former professional wrestler, mostly popular in the 80s and 90s. And I mean, he's definitely a showman, so he's got the charisma to host an event like this.
Wow, Pikachu, what's up, dude? I like those red and yellow colors. Those are my colors. You know, that could be gimmick infringement, brother, but that's okay. You're my buddy.
But it still seems a bit weird, mostly because I don't think there's a big overlap between Pokemon fans and wrestling fans. But during some interviews, he mentions his kid likes it and that the franchise overall is a good positive influence.
It's a very positive form of entertainment. It teaches them values and how to stay focused and team play. I think it's really, really cool that at a young age, kids like my son can get involved with Pokemon and keep those values all through their life because it is all positive stuff.
So it is actually pretty cool to see a parent taking interest like this. And that's typically how celebrity collaborations go with Pokemon. Just seeing anyone famous talking about the franchise is fun, and it gave us one of my favorite photos on the internet. But at this event there were quite a few cool things. They had the Pikachu balloon from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade just hanging out to add some atmosphere. I think this was actually the last time the original balloon was used because they later got a new one. As I mentioned, there were costume characters walking around, which I would really love to see for myself someday at an official Pokemon event. Munchlax was there, which was one of the many Pokemon appearing before their official game debut. Again, this was 2006 when the main video games were on the Game Boy Advance before Diamond and Pearl came out, at least in the US. Also, I just want to know who this guy is. He's nearly a head taller than Hogan, who's like 6'7" himself. No weird observation, I know. There was, of course, the video game events, which were using the Generation 3 games on the Game Boy Advance, connected to a GameCube through Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness for a better screen. This event was held before VGC had officially started, so I'm guessing this was like the Wild West of competitive Pokemon.
Well, they're both using protection, that's awesome.
Of course, you could receive various Pokemon as distributions, like starter Pokemon, Pokemon iconic to their respective region, and legendary Pokemon, all from generations 1 through 3. There were stations to learn the trading card game, coloring book sections if you're like 5 years old, aka the average Pokemon fan. There's seemingly this flash-based computer game and I have no idea what's going on here. And a bunch more. It's just so interesting seeing this because it was significantly more than we see nowadays for Pokemon in terms of events at physical locations. Usually it's just the tournaments, with worlds being much more open for people other than competitors, and openings of temporary Pokemon Center stores. I just feel like I missed out never attending any of these events from before 2010, as cringy as they may be. I've mostly used news footage for this, but there are a lot of personal videos from fans who attended the event themselves, which I recommend checking out for more perspectives. There was also more than just this to celebrate Pokemon's 10th anniversary. There was also the television special, Mastermind of Mirage Pokemon, which is a whole mess on its own, and I did a video about it earlier this year. But there are quite a few interesting tidbits about it.
Don't go anywhere, because your chance to win one of 100 Pokemon Troze video games and 10th anniversary Pokemon plush toys is coming up in just a moment, here on Kids WV.
There was also the release of Pokemon X. No, not that Pokemon X, X as in the Roman numeral for 10. This was an album containing music from the anime. It's cool and all, and has some pretty iconic songs in it, but it just makes Google results for it a little weird. Lastly was a Purdue Farms promotion, where Pokemon computer games were included in packages of chicken nuggets? What the heck? There were 3 games included on mini discs. And they are as follows. Pokemon Team Rocket Blastoff, you play as Ash and May and catch Pokemon as they fall from Team Rocket's balloon. Pokemon Pokeball Launcher, you play as Ash or May and throw Pokeballs at Pokemon. Pokemon Seek and Find, you play Where's Waldo but with Pokemon. They're about as good as any Flash game from the time. But I just had no idea this was a thing. It's so random and obscure. Pokemon computer games that were given out with chicken nuggets? Look, I already talked about a CD-ROM earlier this year, so I'm not gonna track down some chicken nuggets for Pokemon games. Plus, Jon Stone already did it. And guess what? That's not even it. This was the beginning of Pokemon Day, which is an entire rabbit hole on its own because it was in the Netherlands and lasted annually for 5 years. Someday I'll talk about Pokemon Day in the Netherlands, but the fact that it's become its own thing, separate from the 10th anniversary, is worth digging more into. Alright, fine, I admit it. The Post Malone virtual concert, Pokemon celebrations, and especially J Balvin's 10 Quadrado aren't that bad. I'm nostalgic for Pokemon during Generation 3 and I would have loved to be able to show up to one of these events. There's really something to be said about the effort put in to have festivities for fans who had been supporting the franchise for 10 years at that point, or anybody who had jumped in between the beginning and then. Every year of Pokemon anniversary celebrations feels special because they're products of their time, and they could only happen during that year. But I've just spent the last 3 hours looking up images of Hulk Hogan and chicken nuggets. I'm losing my mind. In other words, it's just a usual Thursday for me. I just find it so interesting that all of this was put in for Pokemon's 10th anniversary. I'm glad that it all happened because it's been relatively well enough preserved for those of us seeing everything 15 years later. And I bet everybody who attended for themselves and was able to enjoy it as it happened really did enjoy it. But all of this definitely could have only happened in 2006. I couldn't see too much of this happening in modern day, maybe just some more physical location events. But nothing quite to the scale and Hogan-ness of the party of the decade. Pokemon will have so many more anniversary events in the future, and I'm really interested to see what all of them hold when they're all said and done. And I've definitely been enjoying this year for the 25th anniversary, but you can for sure say that it is nothing like the 10th anniversary. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I haven't figured out yet. But anyway, hey, this is GatorX, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, let me know how your journey through Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is going so far. If you'd like to show your support, you can leave a like and subscribe. And I'm also on Twitter if you'd like to follow me there as well. But anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a nice day.